So Canelo Alvarez finally broke his silence on this whole Jaime Munguia PED situation, and of course, to no surprise, Canelo basically said all the right things if you look at it from his point of view. He offered his support to Jaime Munguia while also coming to the defense of his trainer Eddie Reynoso and disassociating him entirely from anything that has to do with him providing banned substances to fighters as well as Munguia himself. Now, because there's always three sides to every story, and because so many theories can come to mind, we gotta be considerate when excusing or even making accusations, because whether Eddie Reynoso has anything to do with Munguia dropping dirty or not, you can bet your ass that man is sweating right now. I mean, 6 fighters that you've trained or currently train at some point or another during their careers have tested positive for a banned substance. Then Jaime Munguia, who's never dropped dirty before, ends up with this shit in his system after his first fight with you. This just looks all bad, bruh. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an all-out investigation on Eddie Reynoso, and rightfully so, due to the safety of other fighters. However, here's what I feel like some people might be overlooking. You know, a lot of you would choose to believe that Ryan Garcia purposely cheated against Devin Haney, while pretty much letting his trainer Derrick James off the hook, of course, because Derrick James doesn't have a history of no shit like this. But here's the thing with that. If Ryan Garcia did what he did outside of Derrick James, right? Wouldn't that mean there's a possibility Jaime Munguia could do the same outside of Eddie Reynoso, no matter the suspicions, no matter the history, and just play dumb, knowing the backlash would overcloud Reynoso rather than himself? Now, I'm not saying that's what he did, but just saying, you never know, man. And I mean, we can't believe everything Canelo Alvarez says, but he himself just let it be known that he warned Eddie Reynoso about not handling everything that has to do with his fighter's regiment. Almost as if he knew something like this would happen. Don't know how true that is, but it's something to keep an eye on. Also, since Munguia testing positive doesn't legitimately prove Eddie Reynoso guilty of any foul play, wouldn't it make more sense for them to pull the results from Canelo's samples against Williams' School, being that Munguia was on that exact undercard? I mean, a clean Alvarez test would prove that although Reynoso may have been guilty in the past, this could have nothing to do with him. At least that's one of the first things that crossed my mind. Only problem is, I cannot find any specifics or details regarding Canelo and Williams School testing. Like, there's no information on if they even tested for that fight. And if that is the case, then yeah, there should be reason for Terrence Crawford and his team to be on edge. Unless they all just don't give a fuck and are probably guilty of the same, working with Snack and Conti. Because according to Jamal Charlo, he just revealed in a recent interview that a whole lot of doping and masking with supplements goes on in the sport of boxing. If you haven't watched or came across that interview, go check that out on Sean Sattel's channel, because it was a good watch. Either way, whether you want to blame Eddie Reynoso or Jaime Munguia's nutritionist or Jaime Munguia himself, one thing's for certain. The man tested positive for PED, and it was for his first fight with Eddie Reynoso on Canelo's May 3rd undercard in a rematch against Bruno Saras. That's all we really know so far. Hey man, I don't know. Will he request the B sample? Time will tell. Pop off.